got a big fight this week. One Championship makes their U.S. debut at One Fight Night 10. I'm joined by a BJJ black belt. He's a former Eternal MMA, XFL Bantamweight champion. He now sits at number 4 in the One Championship Flyweight division. He takes on the second-ranked Kairat Akhmetov in what looks to be a number 1 contender fight by the looks of it for that, of course, elusive world title. Reece, how are you today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing terrific. Thank you for thanks for having me. Sorry, I fell asleep.
Hey, man, I guess it's like a byproduct of training camp and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, it's just a usual Sunday. It's always one of the more rougher days sort of thing. The week's been done and now I'm just trying to recover.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I mean, training camps could be hard work, I would imagine, right? It seems like now is it the wind down period for you now?
2 more hard ones.
Okay.
It's just making weight now with this hydration test and stuff. So sitting back on the intake and yeah, it's go time.
Absolutely, man. It seems like, when it's close to fight week now, how could it not be go time, right? And of course, speaking of the hard work, I know you've been working hard since you were quite young. Am I right?
The story kind of goes that man, like we moved to the mainland and like things weren't tight, but I was able to just look, I'll just pay for my schooling and stuff. So yeah, nah, it's not anything like too drastic as what it was portrayed to be.
Nonetheless, though, you have been working since you were young, right? Is that accurate? We can confirm
Oh
that
yeah.
for sure.
I started like helping like on the tools when I was like 13 or something, 12 maybe even. It's just small community, if opportunities are there to work when you're super young, then I could not see why not.
And that was leading me to ask you, man, because obviously, to get where you are, you can't cut any corners, right? You're pretty much at the top of your division in the sport, right? To get there, a lot of hard work has to get put in. Do you feel like, since you were working to such a young age, right, always, I guess, sort of been pedal to the metal, has that sort of helped you throughout the struggles of, camps and just rough workouts and fights and all that? Would you say that's helped you at all or no?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely given me that grit and drive to just it doesn't matter, man, how tired or whatever you're feeling, you get your ass up off that couch and get to work. It's the unfortunate thing of this combat sports, it's self-funded. I've had to pretty much self-fund my whole career. I haven't been
Right.
able to pick up any endorsement deals. Haven't been able to pick up any big sponsorships until this fight camp, to be honest. So, like my last fight camp, I had 3 weeks full training. Prior to that, I was on the tools. The one before that, I was on the tools way up until about 2 weeks, where I was lucky enough to have someone cover my last 2 weeks of work. So
Wow.
this time my bosses they were just like, mate, what you're doing is amazing. They've totally backed my camp, and I've had an amazing 8 weeks of full training, thanks to them.
Now, are you looking to like fully transition to where MMA is the main priority? Or do you think you'll still have to work on the side?
Yeah, if I was lucky enough to have been paid bonuses for my previous fights, I'd be rich off bonuses. It
Sure.
just hasn't been the case, for whatever reason. It's just back to that, bro. The world doesn't care how you feel. Get your ass off the couch.
Absolutely, man. Obviously it could be a cruel world. You just gotta keep it moving as always, right?
Ah, man, the world doesn't give two rat shits about anyone. It's go. Sun comes up, sun goes down.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of this fight, right? I saw you be getting the work in at Bang Muay Thai, right? Can you talk a little bit about what it's like getting over there for a big fight, preparing there? You know what I mean? Sharpening the iron. What's the experience like?
Yeah, man, Bang Muay Thai is Duane Ludwig, man. He's an amazing dude. I've been such a fan of him since I can ever remember. I tried to get over to Team Alpha Male when he was there, and I missed him. But yeah, no, it's for me such a pinch yourself kind of moments where I'm like, I've always dreamt of coming all the way over to Colorado and training at Bangs, and now I've got I've got the fucking John Wayne Parr in my corner, the holding pads for me every single day. It's just, yeah, my career at the moment is just I've just got a new birth of life, and we said we got to dot every I, so we come over early to make sure we acclimatized and got our timing in, because man, jet lag's for real and altitude's for real. So Yeah, no, we got over early, self-funded the little trip early, and away we go.
Absolutely, man. Looks like you got all that locked in, which is definitely important around these times, right? It seems like the main focus in terms of stresses and all that should be just the fight, right? So of course, everything you want to be handled and in place. And of course, it's always good to have good people in your corner, good people alongside you when you're preparing, right? As far as Duane Ludwig, you said something interesting that you just missed him over at Team Alpha Male, right? Is it accurate to say you've wanted to train with the guy for a while?
Yeah, big time. Look, I just saw the camaraderie, like the thing that he built with TJ, and that's what I was really, really looking for the
Yeah, they have a
last
great
maybe.
connection, or
Yeah, just
had, yeah.
amazing. And I thought if I when I moved my fight camp, I was kind of looking for that, and I ended up finding two Dwaynes. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah.
I got real fortunate with my little transition, and um, man, John Wayne is just amazing.
Speaking of John Wayne, just in an overall sense, right? Like we know what you can do on the ground, right? The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt speaks for itself. But when you're getting striking advice from a legend like that, right? Do you feel like it's taking your game overall to the next level to add that, to improve on that other component?
Oh, big time. I said to him the other day, I was like, "This is the most pads I've ever had in my whole fight career." I my when I started, I didn't even like spar, for my first like 9 or whatever fights, is the way coaches are, and then
Yeah.
pad wasn't a big thing. There was never big emphasis on pad work, but I always felt like my best fights were when I was able to do lots and lots of pads. Um, and with Wayne's like syllabus, it's fitness is through pads, and man, it's on the money.
Absolutely, man. And look, I mean, anytime you can train with a guy like that, right? I'm sure that it brings the confidence up, right? Knowing that you have that support behind you of a guy that's, well experienced in what he's teaching you.
Yeah, big time. Like nothing's everything that he says is like hammer right on the head of the nail. It's yeah.
Absolutely, man. So look, let's key in on this fight that you got coming up, right? You got Akhmetov, right? The guy's on a 5-fight win streak. In your mind, what do you think it's going to take to stop that momentum? Because I'm sure right now it feels he has some momentum, right?
Yeah, big time. I'm a part of that win streak as well. We fought back in Japan.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, it was I look back and I'm very disappointed with that fight. It was there was a lot of things going on, and I think this time round for that fight I've already trained twice, 3 times as much. So everything's different, and I think not just he will be surprised that night.
Would you say like you're a very competitive person? Like, is that the type of person you are?
Oh, big time,
Because I'm wondering,
terribly.
like, right, yeah, as a competitor, right, like, avenging a loss, does that make it even more sweet? You avenge the loss and you get to fight for the title. Like, is that how you think of it, or no?
Nah, look, I'm not trying to like avenge. I'm not really like looking for it's not what's the word, redemption. I'm not, man. I screwed up that night. And he was the better man that night, and I'm lucky enough now to run it back. And if anything, it's just going to be retribution. I'm bringing the pain.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a good mentality to have. Fair enough, right? I mean, it's in the past, right? There's no need to really hold on to any feelings or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I feel there's a lot of bad juju that can happen if you hold on to the past for too long. You just got to accept things, and I lost that night, and it was what it is, and here we are now, 2023, and I'm gonna try and really make this my year.
Once that cage door closes, right? From a stylistic standpoint, what kind of fight are you expecting? How do you think this one plays out for you?
Look, I think it's gonna be a high pace fight. I'm prepared to go the full 3 5s, but we don't get paid overtime, so I'm gonna try and get it out of there early.
Definitely. And I brought it up earlier, right? One Championship makes their debut on US soil, right? How does it feel to be a part of an event like this? Is it special to you or no?
Oh, it's so special. I mean, the fight in the States by itself is special, but to be picked to be a part of the actual debut is just amazing. It's yeah, super humbling, and I feel very fortunate to be where I am. So yeah, very thankful at the moment. Very thankful.
Have you ever fought? Well, how many times have you fought in the US if you have?
No, I never fought in the US. So this is
So it's
also
your
my US
debut as well
debut.
on
Yeah,
US
as
soil.
well.
That's big,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, so big, like so big.
That's awesome. So, when you're preparing for the fight, are you a person that like needs chips on their shoulders, or like is it like, oh, I'm debut US soil, I'm gonna go that extra mile, or is it always just for you, like, you got to prepare like it's your last one, right?
Yeah, look, I've had a theory for a very, very long time. And it's the fitter you are, the more you can put it on your opponent. So yeah, that's pretty much my mentality is get as fit as possible, and
Like in terms of the cardio and stuff.
yeah, just everything.
Do you think that's the most like important component to like an MMA fighter is the cardio or no?
Nah, not really. Skill set always good
For sure.
fundamentals, and
Yeah.
then man, like
But if
I'm
you
known for
gas out, right,
cardio.
you can't even throw a punch, then the skill goes to the garbage too, right?
Yeah, unless you got good fundamentals.
Okay. Yeah.
But you gotta have some fucking hella fight IQ, and that's something I don't think everyone possesses, and that's something that we bring to the table is a very good IQ. So
Yeah. Look, we spoke about Denver, right? Looks like you're there now, right? As someone who's from Australia, like how are you enjoying Denver so far?
yeah, it's awesome. It's we're a little bit out in the sticks, so it's hard to say exactly what
Okay.
Denver's like. You know what I mean? But what we've seen, it looks amazing. I was just out there with the prairie dogs before. They're awesome.
I feel like if I was in like a training camp, I'm not a fighter. The UFC video game I am, but in like real life, if I'm training for a fight, right? I feel like I'd want that isolation, right? Is that something you targeted specifically, or did it just play out that way to be up there?
Nah, we just needed to make sure we acclimated. So it just happened to be where the gym is. Um, so we just got our spot near the gym just to make the training work pretty much.
And in terms of again acclimation, right? Have you factored the altitude in at all in terms of how it may affect people in the fights and all that? I mean, yourself, of course. Have you factored that in at all, or done anything to prepare for that?
Yeah, no, no, big time. We've like I said, we dotted every I and crossed every T. Um, and that's why we're already early.
I saw a clip of your Instagram where you were like dancing on the cage. Is that something you plan to do if you get a win? Or
It's a funny joke from a guy I had with back in Sacramento. He's like, "Man, you should surf that cage, bro. It'd be dope if you surfed the cage." So I surfed the cage.
does one ever tell you like, hey man, maybe don't do that or anything like
Nah,
that, or
they're
no?
pretty cool. They
Okay.
they like it. I think they like it. It looks cool. So I haven't been told.
Hey man, if you get the win, I think that'd be pretty awesome. So
No, I mean, I'm just looking forward to be able to fight in front of people. I haven't had a crowd in the last 3 years or something. There's been no crowd,
really?
so
Okay. So you've been fighting in front of no crowds for a while, man.
no crowd. So I'm
Wow.
looking forward to there being, even though I'm on early, one or two people in the crowd would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, listen, again, it is going to be awesome. It's going to be a big fight. Guys, One Fight Night 10 this Saturday, Denver, United States debut. Reece, thanks for coming on, man. And we appreciate the time.
Hey, thanks for having me. You have a good one.
All right.